What do you play on a song that's hanging out on one chord for a very long time? Hi, I'm Ann Luna. This is Bass Bites, where my intention is to give you a digestible little bit, a tip, a trick, a lick, a thought for double bass, and that you can take and make your own and digest into your own playing. So today we're going to look at Bill Monroe's White Horse Breakdown. My thought is that we're going to look at several songs that stay on one chord for a while, and some ideas of what you can do to maintain interest, to maintain your own engagement. With this live recording of Bill Monroe, it's not quite in G, right? So, beautiful thing about a fretless instrument is I can play in like mostly G, right? So I could play. It's not, like I say, it's right in between kind of like a G and an A flat in this recording. So I could be up here, but because I want to rock back and forth between these octaves, I'm going to slide up here and be up on my pinky. All right, so let me cue that up and I'll show you what I mean. All right, so yeah, word of caution when you listen to old recordings, they may or may not be completely in tune, right? For whatever reason. So if I'm finding that, right, not quite G. Yeah, so I've either got that there or up here. So I could hang out here, right? Which is just fine. So if I do hang out here, I can do one of the techniques that I'm going to show you for, like, what do I do besides just, right? and hang on the 1-5, and this is a song that mostly stays on the 1 chord and goes to the 5 every now and then. We'll write out that progression as we go along. So you can do that, or this is a place where I like to use that ghost note. And so that's one place you can use that. If I go up here, the tone's different, right? Down there, this note rings out more. So, looking at how do you make these choices of where do I play these notes? It could be, I like the sound of that one better than here. But if I'm here, then I don't have to shift positions to get this lower octave. And that gives me a little more variety. Another thing I like to do is you've got this kind of typical bluegrass walk up from a 1 to a 5 of, okay, that makes sense. For there, I'm gonna have to shift in order to make that work well. Because I don't, for this particular not quite G sharp A flat, I'm playing everything closed position. But another reason why I like playing it here rather than here, even though you can do it the other place, I just have to shift differently. So, all right, so let's put that in context. Another way to get from that 1 to 5 is if we're thinking in Nashville numbers and having 8 be our high octave, right? 8, 7, flat 7, 6, 5, back to 1. is a way to do that too. But yeah, going back to this, what do I play when I'm just on the root for a long time? So let's check this out where it's 1, 1, 5, 1. That's just keeping it really straight, right? And a lot of times, one of the beauties, I think, of these high energy instrumental bluegrass tunes is that because it is at a faster tempo, you can remain engaged a little easier, perhaps, because you've got that driving force, right? So that's a great place to start. But once you're ready to do something else, going back and forth, even adding the low octave every now and then. And here I'm not even doing ghost notes. I'm just sticking with my root and 5. So let's do that. Now adding the low one, right? So kind of switching octaves here. So when I do that, it does offer just an extra little kind of punch. And what I like about that too is it lets my hand move, especially here where I'm playing things all in a closed position. There's a lot of bluegrass tunes in B flat and B, and that can be nice too, to be able to move my hand a little bit. And if you don't have this spread between your index and your pinky being an octave if you skip a string, so this is like a low B on the A string and a high B on the G string, if that's not comfortable, it's okay to let your hand kind of collapse a little bit and move. The idea is we don't want to be so stiff that we're causing injury in your hand, right? So don't feel like I have to stay so stiff in this one position. Feel free to move your hand, because that's going to let you have some blood flow and some flexibility and hopefully save you from injury. So quick aside there. All right, what I want to look at, let's look at a slower version of this tune, and where we're in G, so we've got some some open strings, and where I can look at this in another way for you. So let me cue that up. Thanks again. My name's Ann Luna. This has been another episode of Bass Bites.